I'm on now. So, that's a really important question because so many people are under the impression that after they complete their training, their hours, or for whatever state it is, Maryland, we have 1,500 hours, and you have your California um, standards, New York, wherever the state is, Virginia, they think that if they don't take their test immediately, then after they complete, if they don't take their test immediately, then they're going to have to go back to school and, get their training all over again, pay more money before they can take the test. But that's not the case. All they all they will need is a refresher course, because once you get the course, then you know what the expectations are for the exam, so that way you'll be prepared for the exam, and you can erase any doubt. But the problem with people not understanding what the requirements are, which is no, you don't have to go back to school, that's what a problem is. Yeah.
So and the refresher courses are usually about how long?
Refresher course, it depends on who the course is. I would recommend at least, I would say about 20 hours. That's like a part-time schedule, because most people that want to take the course are working. They're working somewhere. So they really can't dedicate a whole day or 8 hours worth of time. They could probably split it up into a 4-hour increment over the course of maybe 2 weeks until they've reached their requirement. Some people, I've noticed that when they're taking the course, once I introduced, the curriculum to them and outline, then they go, oh, okay, I remember. So it's really just a matter of going over the hands-on and making sure that they understand what the criteria is for that particular state, and knowing what they can do and what they can't do. Because a lot of people make mistakes and want to talk to the proctor, and then boom, they fail the test. It's that simple as, oops, I had a question, but no, you don't get to ask any questions. So it could be something as simple as asking a question that could cause you to, get kicked out, get kicked out of the establishment.
Yeah, the exam. I just had another question. I forgot just that quick. Daggone it. What was my other question? It had to do with the course, the refresher course. So you said it's like roughly about 20 hours. Oh, shoot. I was going to ask about the cost. I guess that varies.
Yeah, that varies. And, it depends on where you're at. And some people, like, okay, let's say that you are not able to make it to the site for the hands-on. A lot of people ask the question, are you able to do online training? With these today, of course, you can do online training. If you can find an establishment that provides online training, I would definitely encourage it. And, someone that's going to be there to answer any of the questions that you have, because you definitely want somebody that's going to give you the undivided attention that you need. Because if you go to somebody and they give you information, you can get information. You can get information anywhere. But you just want to make sure that it's the
correct information.
Yeah, you just don't want anybody to hand you any, any mess and get your money, and then send you on out the door and say they did something. That's not cool.
Right.
Yeah. So tell me about you were telling me about your cousin. What's going on with her?
Well, she had taken her, first she apprenticed under me.
Okay.
And well, she did not take that back. She didn't apprentice. She was my assistant.
Okay.
For a number of years. I would say 3 or 4 years. She was my assistant. And at one point, she thought she wanted to do hair. Then she decided, nah, I don't think I want to do hair. And years went by, and then she calls me up, and she decides she wants to go ahead and go to school, the cosmetology school. So she does that. Gets her hours, and she's sitting on her hours. And I was thinking, okay, you need to go ahead and do some of those hours before you lose them. I think we had already discussed that. You don't lose your hours.
Right.
Yeah. It's that use or lose. I thought it was a use or lose situation.
Right. So a lot, I'm glad you brought that up. A lot of people are under the assumption that if they've taken their...
Sorry about that motorcycle in the background.
Oh, no, it's fine. I didn't even hear it.
Okay, good.
They've done the education part. They've gone to an accredited school. They've got all of their hours, but they never took the test. Once they have those hours are their hours from here to eternity, unless that changes. And that would be something in writing, it would go be public. You can find that out. But as far as, right now is concerned, her hours belong to her. Nobody can take them away. Let's say that the school that she went to is no longer open. Well, that's public information. She can call or write to the Department of Labor and Licensing, or she can go through the Higher Education Commission, and they will point her in the right direction so she can get access to those hours in the event the institution is no longer open. So that way, when she goes to the training center or to go get her refresher, they'll have record of her hours. So that way she can take her training, get her refresher, and then go straight to, take her test, submit her papers to take her test. Yeah. And, the funny thing is with the refresher courses is that, you're a test taker, regardless of, your age or who you are, you still have to take the test. You are the one that takes the test. And I've had learners that will come through and say, well, can you guarantee that I'm going to pass this test? Well,
right. No, but that depends on you.
Exactly. You have to apply yourself. You have to practice. And you have to want to do it and put the time in that it takes to learn what you need to learn, practice it, and then you can, when you're ready, go ahead and take the test. Unfortunately, I can't take the test for anyone, and I don't even know that question. Well, can you take it for me? Can you help me? I'm helping you as much as I possibly can. Aside from taking it for you, aside from taking that test for you, that's just not going to happen, So.
I know what I was going to ask about the refresher, and so for people like myself that are already licensed, been licensed for years, and it looks as though coming down the pike, we're going to have to start doing these refresher courses before we can get our license.
Right.
Maybe you can talk about that.
Okay. I'm glad you brought that up. Well, I don't know what currently. I would have to look it up. I don't know what the exact amount of continuing education credit requirements are. I do know that you do have to do credits. If I'm not mistaken, I want to say 6. I can probably look that up real quick. But they just have to be. You just have to hold on to your certifications, and it can't be something. See, the issue. I'm so glad you brought that up. The issue with that is anybody can go on and print out a certificate and say that they did hours at such and such and such a place.
What?
But just keep them up, because it's, come on now. With the technology we have today, you can print a document up and say, oh, I did continuing education classes with so-and-so. But no, don't think that anyone is going to get away with that, because what they'll do, what the state will do, is turn around and they'll look up that entity to make sure that it's a valid place that is recognized as somewhere that is, that allows or performs that type of service.
It sounds like where my husband works in a hospital.
Right.
And you had to be vaccinated by a certain date, and they double check. If you say you were vaccinated, they check to see where you were vaccinated, because you'll be in the system if you're vaccinated. If you were vaccinated in a place that is legitimate, put it that way.
Right.
Your everything is online, so they can easily look it up and see, okay, yeah, you were vaccinated on XYZ date.
Right. Because,
it sounds like this is going to be the same thing. Okay, we can look this up and say, okay, you studied here. Okay, let me look this up and see. Okay, I see your name on here. Yeah, that's true.
Right. And, and for me, it's all forecasting. It's an assumption. And, I do know that, yes, continuing education credits are necessary in Maryland. They are mandatory. And I always use DC as a reference because it's the closest to us. From my vantage point, I've been probably 8 minutes away from the DC line. So I always use them as a reference. So in DC, yes, it's mandatory, and they're going to have you upload their documentations and make sure that it's valid, so on and so forth. In Maryland right now, they're saying it's recommended, and once you get the continuing education credits, they're good for 2 years, so on and so forth. So forth. That's until they can mandate it and make it mandatory. But until then, for you, for instance, if let's say that you decided to take a braiding class, or you wanted to take a lash class, for instance, that would be considered a continuing education. You whatever hours for your credits, you hold on to that for their 2 years. And let's say they haven't mandated it yet in 2022, but because it's valid for 2 years, you had 2022, 2023, and then you can submit that for 2023 if they decide to mandate it within the next 12 months or so.
Right. So it doesn't have to be a cosmetology. Well, cosmetology, everything falls under cosmetology.
Yeah.
So it could be anything that we want to continue further as far as education. If we want to take a hair cutting class,
you can take
count.
Right. You can take a business class. You could take an accounting class, because in the business, we need to know how to do accounting, especially if you, like for you, for instance, you are a business owner, you own your own business. So you need to make sure that you're following the current guidelines, because everything changes. Look at the tax laws. Those are changing also. So just to make all the time. So just to make sure that you are current with what is going on in the industry today, those CEUs you take for finance, you can use as continuing education credits for your business, because it all was that Diamond or Dallas?
Diamond, the loudmouth.
Oh, that's funny. But it all falls under the same umbrella, because if you look at our textbooks, what does it say? Oh man, don't let me pull out a book now. Come on now, hold on, let me grab a book, because I got them here. Shoot, and if I don't know nothing, I know this education piece. Let's go through some of it. I don't have my glasses. How in the world?
I get her riled up.
I didn't feel like going to the car. I'm so lazy. I said, today I am not going outside. I don't care how beautiful it is. I ain't going out there. Not today.
Wow.
So you have, so let's say I'm just going over some of the content that's in our textbook. So if you're taking a class and it has to do with any of this content, that will be considered continuing education under your cosmetology, barbering, esthetician, nail techs. What else do they do? Braiding, anything that requires a license in the beauty industry in the state of Maryland. Get excited.
Right.
Woo! I had to say
massage,
I had to say
nails.
it. Okay. So let me see. You have your life skills. You hate to think that you have to talk about life skills with someone, but yes, life skills. And then you have communication for success. And right now, communication for success is exactly, kind of a little bit what I'm doing right now. I'm trying to communicate and, communicate and educate, because this whole live thing and this video and all this stuff I'm doing, this is new to me. Can I get a certificate? Can I get a certificate of completion once I add and edit this video, because I need them credits. All right, you have infection control, which is so serious right now. And you need to do the first line of defense, universal precaution at all costs, every day, without fail, regardless of what the media is saying, regardless of what anyone says about what we should be doing, the mask mandates, this, that, and the third. You always got to protect yourself and your client first. Would you agree with that?
I would agree.
So how do you, what are your precautionary measures for your business?
Mask is mandatory. Now the other one wants to start barking. Mask is mandatory for everyone, including myself. I'm in a salon plaza, so everyone's in a suite. And I try not to have no more than 2 clients. Preferably, I try to keep 1 client at a time. But if I have 2 in the suite, my suite is large enough that they're at least 3 feet apart.
Right.
So I try to keep everybody separated. I'm constantly spraying. I have my little bleach mixture and also have alcohol, 91% alcohol. I'm constantly wiping down the bowls and the chairs and the dryers and my station and implements. After each use, of course, they get cleaned and sanitized. I got my antibacterial soap. I have like little packets that I tell people that they can take into the bathroom with them to wash their hands. Well, we have soap in the bathroom, but just like a little extra something, for the customers.
Right. I'm sure they appreciate that.
Yeah. I have my hand sanitizer, big half-gallon of hand sanitizer sitting right at the front door. I also have extra gloves for anybody that feels like they want some gloves. I still have some clients that are kind of still, they want to come in and get their hair done, but they're still a little scared. So, if you want to put some gloves on, I got some hand sanitizer, I got all kinds of little things for you sitting right at the front door. So, yeah, and most of my clients, I would say probably 98% of them are double vax and boosted.
Well, that's good. Do you?
Yeah, along with myself.
So I'm glad you brought that up. Do you have a log? Do you require them to bring proof of vaccination before they come into your business? Is that a?
No, I don't. I mean, some people may, but I don't. Yeah. But it's also mandatory. Our front doors are locked coming into the salon plaza, since there's like 30 suites within our plaza. So our front doors stay locked.
Right.
And the only way you can get in is if you call your stylist to let you in. So we're still not accepting walk-ins.
Oh, is that hurting the business any, not to be able to accept walk-ins?
Only if you're not, if you don't have a clientele, my opinion. But for the most part, it's been doing well for me because I've been getting a lot of word of mouth business.
Nice. Speaking of word of mouth,
call to get an appointment. I let them know the rules, and everybody's cool with it.
Nice. Question: do they still do 27 pieces? Because I need something real short and sassy for the summer.
They do still sell it.
They do. Yeah, I need to rock something.
They do still sell it. Yeah,
that was the bomb, girl. Them 27 pieces, honey. Girl, yes, honey. Okay, get excited. So, all right. Oh, girl, I put my brown rice on. I think it's ready. So, I think that overall, we just really need to be aware of the changes that are coming, whether you see them right now or not, because it's going to happen. And I would hate to see someone that spent so much time and energy and money to go in and not get their license. There's so many people there's so many people sitting on 1,500 hours, 1,800 hours, 2,000 hours. They're sitting on these
not doing anything with it.
Yeah, these loans that they have to pay back, and are working in other industries. And right now, the good thing about our industry that I love so much is, as hard as they try, as much as they try, we have not been able to be replaced by modern technology. You feel me? They have not been able to replace the cosmetologist with modern technology. There's no computer, there's no gadget that can do what we do.
Nope, not at all.
And then just the human element that we bring, we give people the opportunity to come in and freaking woosah. Are you with me?
Hello.
To disconnect from whatever's going on in their lives. And I know your customers love coming to your place because you can shut that door and they don't have to hear anybody talk. They don't have to listen to any children. They don't have to do
anything. They can leave their kids at home. They can woosah.
Yeah.
They can have a little girl chat.
Yes.
And just, just feel free to just express themselves.
That's right.
And get beautified and pampered all at the same time.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. She's barking at the people next door.
Oh, yeah, being pampered, and that's important. Just the human element of having somebody just put your hands on the shoulder, shampoo their hair. We've been so disconnected from that for the past 2 years. Yeah. That is just insane. And to know that
okay, now she's gonna stop barking. I'm sorry.
Who is that? Dallas? Is that Dallas?
Diamond is barking. Somebody is visiting a next door neighbor, and she's barking at the person talking to my neighbor. Barks at everybody. None of your business, girl.
That's so funny. So just to be able to know that, as a cosmetologist or as a beauty professional, what we bring to the table, and nobody will ever be able to take that away from us. And, we've worked so hard for it. And I'm always an advocate or the cheerleader for anyone out there that's either beginning to go to school or it's their first time, or, they started and didn't get a chance to finish and they're ready to finish. And they want to have, control over their own life. And, right. When I just think about, and that's like a whole nother conversation. When I think about, the freedoms that my 1,500 hours has allowed me to do, and to be able to take care of my boys with my license.
Yes.
There was no other job. It was that's all that I've done.
Exactly.
For over 30 years.
I was able to afford vehicles and homes and things that people would not even think that would come from just this.
Yeah. And then when you hear somebody say, "Oh, you're
businesses."
Yes. Huh.
Yep. With just this.
Yep. And when you hear people say, "Oh, you're a hairstylist. Oh, that's all you do. Do you do anything else?" No, baby. This is what I do. I live and breathe this industry, and no one can take that away from me. And just to know that there's so many different aspects to it, there's so many different levels to it, and as long as your brain, your mind, your frontal lobe is open,
yep,
that's all you need. And to know that you can be as creative and as independent as you want to be, and make this business what you have always dreamed it to be. And it's like I was telling you earlier, that my mind is crazy. I wake up in the morning sometimes and it's like a light bulb is just burning my forehead. I'm going, oh. For real? Okay. Okay. And I get on this daggone computer and these little fingers get to tapping away, but I just not. And I'm going to say this because I think I'm going to keep this because we've been on the phone for a minute, like 23 minutes. It's almost 30 minutes. Thank you for calling me for one, because nobody has joined my live, but that's all right.
That's all right.
Y'all going to want me later.
Look at it later.
Y'all going to be looking for me. Okay. That I will say this from my first live video ever in life, that you are, one, my best friend, and two, we met in beauty school. So when you think about the things, or when I think about the things that this life as a cosmetologist has given to me, the main thing that I could take away from this is the fact that I met you.
Aww.
And I love you, girl. I love you. I love you, man. Yeah. So I don't even think I'm gonna edit this thing. I'm gonna let it go what it is. It is what it is. Okay. But
let it do what it do.
Let it do what it do. And I've gained enough confidence to do another video one day soon. I think I might have to do this every week. Yeah, I might have to do this every week because this is kind of chill. And maybe after that, I don't know, maybe I might get one viewer.
Oh, you will.
Oh, man.
It'll happen. You will.
Because I've got so much. Look, I'm doing hearts. I've got so much to give. And it's like when I just started a new business venture. And, I'm teaching now in a public school sector in the industry. And I look at the students and I get so excited and I just want to shout out to them. I have so much to give you. I'm here. Pick my brain. But I just settle down and don't, I don't want to scare them because I could be a little scary sometimes, but I just go, okay, Kim, just wait for it, and I just know that the ones that get it will get it because not everybody gets it. And even at our age, which I will not disclose.
Thank you.
We, some people still don't get it. But I'm thankful that we got it, and we're gonna keep getting it, and we're gonna keep doing what we do until we got it all. Get excited.
Yep. Yes, indeed. Get excited. That was good.
Yay. Okay, honey, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna end this stream. Hold on just 1 second, darling. I'll chat with you in a second. But for those of you who have will take the moment just to view this video, I appreciate you so much and thank you. And guess what? I'll be back. So holla at your girl and get excited. Show me what you're working with. Hootie hoo. I had to do it. I just had to do it. Bye. Okay, I did it.
Okay.
Oh man, I'm so fun. Is my timer? Oh shucks, my timer's still going.
Keep her under
control. Hold on, my timer's still going.
Barking at the neighbors. I was like, come on, girl, on live. Shut up.